So this is quiz 12. So go ahead and do this and then I'll go over it. So these, you need to know these here too for the test too. So the volume of a cube, of course, is going to be volume equal edges times cube, right? You're going to take it 3 times to get the volume of a cube. The volume of a rectangle or solid is going to be volume equals length times width times height. You got that? Volume of a cone is going to be, do not record this because I actually made a mistake there. There, divided by 3. So, that's the deal. It's divided by 3. So you have volume equals, a cone is like 1/3 of the base times height. So the volume of is equals 1/3 times pi r squared times height. That's the volume of a cone, and number 3. This is a 3, not a 2. So the volume of a cylinder is just going to be the volume times this part. It's going to be volume times pi times r squared times height. So it's the volume of a cylinder is like, it's going to be your basic formula. Volume equals pi r squared times height. And then the volume of a cone is going to be 1/3. You're going to divide this whole cylinder by 1/3 to get the volume of a cone. Okay? Break-even point. You need to know this. This will be a test, this is, not in this part of the chapter, but it's a review. The break-even point equals the fixed price, whatever the fixed price is, divided by the selling price minus the variable cost per unit. And they'll give you that. So just know, break-even point equals fixed price divided by the selling price minus the variable unit. So you need to know that. Fixed price, selling price minus variable cost. So let's go on to number 6, the cubic inches in a cubic foot. So remember I told you you can actually take 12 times 12 times 12 3 times, or you can memorize that number, which is 1,728 inches squared. Now it'll be a conversion number. So if you forget this, just know it's 12 times 12 times 12, because you're changing it over into cubic inches. And that means cubic means 12 3 times. 12 times 12 is 144, times another 12 is 1,728. Go ahead and memorize that one. Number 7, cubic feet in cubic yards. Okay, so that you're going to take, you want to know how many feet in a cubic yard? It's going to be 27. So because there's 3 feet in a yard, 3 times 3 times 3, which equals 27 feet squared. So number 8, find the volume and do not round. So these are these next problems. So here we have edge equals 5 centimeters. So volume equals edge cubed. So you're going to take what? 5 times 5 is 25. Then another times 5 is 125. So there's our answer. Just going to take this 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125 centimeters squared. That's that cube. Easy question, huh? So find the volume. Number 9, we have radius of a circle is 4 meters and the height is 3 meters. So this one we're going to take, they want to know of a cylinder. Make sure it's a cylinder, not a cone, right? The cone you divide by 3, it's a cylinder. So we're going to take 3.14, that's pi, because here's our formula, volume equals pi r squared height. I don't know why I put that, but pi r squared height. And so we have volume equals 3.14, because that's pi, times 4 squared times 3. So we have, what we have, 4 times 4 is 16. So basically saying 4 times 4 times, they say times 3, So I have 3.14 times 16. That's what I did first. It's 3.14 times 16. So I did that and I got 54.24. That's 3.4 times 16. And then I times it by 3 here. 50.24 times 3. I got 150.72. So it's 150.72 meters cubed. So, on to number 10. Length is 5 meters, width is 4 meters, height is 3 meters. So you want to find volume equals length times the width times height. So you got 5 times 4 times 3. 5 times 4 times 3. So 20 times 3 equals 60 is the easy one. 60 meters cubed is your rectangular solid. You just need to know these formulas. You know, if you don't know the formulas, you're going to be lost. And then you just plug in the answers with the formulas. So let's go on to the next quiz, quiz 13, because this quiz is going to be a review of what we've had before. So quiz 13. I'm going to move this around so you get it all on there. So gross profit minus expenses. So let's put it like this. Gross profit minus expenses. What would that be? So if you take your gross profit and you take off your expenses, you're going to have your net. You're going to have what you net. You're going to have your net profit. The next one says the first term in a ratio, you should know that by now, is the antecedent. Anti means first, so it's the antecedent. A-N-T-I, that's a C-E-D, antecedent. And so no profit, no loss. If you hadn't made a profit yet, but you haven't made a loss, you're going to be at your break-even point, right? That's the break-even point. No profit, no loss is your break-even point. Test question. So going on, an itemized shipping bill listing goods, prices, charges, and any other charges. That's your bill that you get, right? You guys know that's called an invoice. So a dollar amount that is recorded in the right column of the general ledger. Always remember that the DC, it's like DC. The debit's on the left and the credit is on the right on your ledger. Or I wouldn't say ledger, I call it the general journal. So debit and credit. So what's going to be on the right side? This is right. This is the left side and this is the right side, so it's going to be a credit. It's a credit. They just want to know if it's credit or debt, but you have to go back in your book and say, you have a journal, a ledger, where do you put the debits and where do you put the credit? It's always DC. D is on the left and credit is on the right, like Washington, D.C. So you put credit on the right, it's going to be credit. So number 6, income from sales. You have your income from sales minus your returns and allowance. So that's going to be your net. I said net income, but it's going to be your net sales. So that's going to be your net sales because you're going to take your sales, then you have to take from all your sales, you have to minus all your returns and your allowances. So you're going to get your net sales, not income. So I actually got this wrong. That income is wrong. It's net sales because you have to take. If you're going to sell something, and you sell all these things. Some people are going to return things, so you have to take them off, and that will be your net sales. So the next one is the current. Whenever you have current, that's a clue. Current assets divided by current liabilities. These are all of your assets that are liquid. That you can all of your assets that you have, you can turn to cash pretty easily. So your current assets divided by your current liabilities is going to be what's called your current ratio. Current ratio. So this is the suggested retail price. If you're looking to buy something, and you want to know what price, there's going to be the suggested retail price that you're going to pay you're going to be called the list price. So the answer in division problem is called the quotient. That's a really long. So if you have a division problem, the answer is always a quotient. Okay? So you cut that. So those are your 2 quizzes. And I think I'm going to stop there because we haven't got into the decimal system yet. And that's what we're going to do next. So.